Good morning. It's Monday morning already. The weekends go so quickly. Every Monday we start our week off gently with some chair yoga. So grab your chair, perhaps grab a set of blocks, and grab a mat and join me. Glasses. I like to see what my viewers can see on the monitor. So I always need to have my glasses on during class. So today or this week, we are heading into the study of the Madhyama mudra, which is associated with the solar plexus. So it's interesting, as we have just finished up the study of the 7 chakras, the main 7 chakras. We head now into studying hand mudras, and the cycle begins again. So this is kind of fun because each week we can revisit the chakras again, but in a slightly different way. So in addition to asanas, which help us to strengthen the body and stimulate certain chakras through certain poses, but also learn to turn inward and become introspective and reflective and harness our own abilities. The hand mudras tap into those ways, those elements in a different way. And so with each hand mudra, we are focusing on different aspects of our being and of our wellness. So this mudra, just to recap it, it is called the mudra of the middle finger, or the gesture of the middle finger, rather. And this mudra's concentration is on helping us to find balance in our energies, balance in our output and what we take in, balance in our energies. Did I say energies already? Balance in our activities. So balance, balance, balance. We talk a lot about that in yoga. We talk about how balance on the mat is a metaphor for balance off the mat. And knowing where you should put your energies, conserving your energy for what you need it for, dialing it back when you need to, but also having it available, having that vitality to tap into it when you need it. So the 4 bullet points of this mudra are stabilizing our level of energy, supporting our optimal digestion. So this mudra is connected to the solar plexus chakra. And this chakra governs, you've heard the expression, the fire in the belly. Well, this is right there. And so to stimulate our digestion, we fire up the solar plexus chakras through a variety of different poses. Releasing tension from the mid-back. Balancing your giving and your receiving, and unfolding all of your potential. So to go into this mudra, it's the gesture of the middle finger. Obviously, these 2 fingers connect. Then you take the remainder of your fingers back into your palm, draw your shoulders back and down, sit up nice and tall, and you can draw this mudra against your solar plexus. Some people have problems with fingernails being a little too long. Mine are kind of short right now, but you can even just kind of overlap your fingers if you need to, if your fingernails are kind of pressing against one another. And then you're just going to bring your shoulders back and down, sit up nice and tall, and just start to breathe in and out of your nose, drawing your attention to the center part of your body. And you might chant in your mind, I am balanced in all of my energies, and I approach life with vitality. I am balanced in all of my energies, and I live life with vitality. You can practice this mudra for a minute, a couple, 3 times a day. Drawing your attention toward your solar plexus, also called manipura. If you want to chant the seed sound for this, it's ram, ram. Kind of roll your R at the beginning of the ram, ram. And you allow it to resonate in your throat, resonate in your body. That's how these seed sounds work. And that vibration that you create with your own voice also stimulates the manipura. Ram, ram, ram. Let's do another inhale together. And then on your exhale, go ahead and place your hands down. I'm going to place this card off to the side. Remember, the name of this is the Madhyama mudra. How will I ever remember that name? I do not know. I have 108 of these cards we're going to go through over the next 1.5 years or 2 years. Well, let's go ahead and start our practice. So I invite you to sit kind of near the front of your chair, taking an active posture. Sits bones in contact with your chair. Now we can talk a little bit about the chairs that we use. I think I'm going to turn mine slightly today so that the camera has a better view of me. I see most of the time in chair yoga that the use of the chair is like a folding chair. You can do a lot with a folding chair, but I like using this dining room chair, but it is a little bit high for me. So I end up sitting up nice and tall, and I use blocks underneath my feet to guarantee that my feet are grounded, because that's really important for most of our poses. So let's go ahead and inhale our hands up. Exhale them out and down. Inhale our hands out and up. Exhale them out and down. And then let's inhale them out and up again. And then let's take that gesture down, the Madhyama mudra. Take a moment to set your intention. For me, the theme of balance is so major, so big in my life. I have got to seek balance between working full-time, raising my son, preparing and teaching yoga classes, spending time with people, spending time on things that bring me joy, like music, or walking, or reading, balancing out the responsibilities with the home against my own personal care, balancing out time with myself against time spent with others. It's a lot. So I invite you to think today about how you will seek your balance. How will you balance your energies? In social circles, or circles rather, people with disabilities, you may refer to it as spoons, balancing all your spoons in the air, the various roles that you have, various responsibilities, the various life tasks. How do we balance them all? I invite you to meditate upon that. Inhale your hands overhead again. And then on your exhale, we're going to go ahead and just lay down on our legs to start. Plant your hands against your shins. Draw the crown of your head forward on your inhale, lifting up your heart. And then exhale, folding down. Inhale, bring your hands out to the side and rise all the way up. Exhale, drawing the belly button into the spine, lay over your thighs. Place your hands to your feet, drop your crown. Inhale, draw the crown of your head forward. Exhale it down and release, and then inhale, sit all the way up. And then bring your hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to your feet, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, drop your crown. And then inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. We're just warming up the spine, so be gentle and kind to yourself this morning. Inhale your hands up, and then exhale. Let's take our hands forward. Draw your belly button into the spine, and just hinge forward. I'm at an angle, probably roughly a 45-degree angle. So smaller than 90. This would be 90. Maybe I'm more like a 30% angle. But what I'm doing is drawing my shoulders up and back, lifting up my arms so that I can strengthen my back. Remember, this helps the middle back muscles to relax. Well, one of the tricks you may learn is that you can engage your muscles and then you can relax them. Go ahead and take another breath. And then exhale, fold down. Drop your crown. And let's just sit here in this pose for just a moment, commanding all the parts of your body to relax. So relax your back, relax your crown, relax your neck and jaw. Allow your arms to just fall down on either side of your legs. One more inhale. And then exhale fully. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. Now we're going to do some twists, a forward folding twist. So you might, actually your feet don't have to separate at all, because we're going to engage our twist by actually just placing our hands on top of our feet. So inhale, our hands up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Place your left hand on your left foot. Place your right hand on your right hip. This can be the level that you stay at if you choose, where you just twist to the right, keeping your right hand on your right hip, using your arm inside of your left leg, perhaps as an anchor point to engage your twist, and just keep on looking to the right. If you want, you can also rise your hand up into the air towards the ceiling, your right hand, and you can also increase your stretch just a little bit by having your hand up in the air. Twisting poses are good for stimulating digestion, stimulating movement of the digestive tract, stimulating movement of what we consume through it. It helps to stimulate the adrenal glands and the kidneys, helps to eliminate stress. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more inhale, and then exhale. Place your right hand down on your right foot. Take your left hand to your left hip and turn to the left. And then go ahead and raise your left hand up into the air, continuing to engage your twist. One more inhale, and then exhale. Place your hands down. Let's inhale into a flat spine, drawing our hands against our shins. And then exhale, descending down, laying across the top of your legs, allowing your head to drop. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do our sun salutation sequence this morning out of our chairs. Sun salutations are a wonderful way to greet the day, and as we speak, the sun has just risen over here in California. It's still very warm, shockingly. This is the weirdest year. I don't know what to say about this year, but it is what it is. And there goes one of my AirPods. Okay, these AirPods are important for you to hear me. Okay, so I'm gonna try this, having the chair at a different angle this time during our practice. A lot of times I have my chair, quite at a 90-degree angle to the camera, but I'm gonna try it just this way. Okay, so let's inhale our hands overhead. Initially, what I want you to do is just go for extension. Reaching as high as you can, lifting out of your hips. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down, and inhale your hands up. And then exhale, hands out to the side, hinge at the hips, bend your legs, and place your hands on your chair. Dropping your forehead to the chair. This is your forward fold. Inhale, rise up into a flat spine. And then exhale, lower down. Bring your left foot into the chair a little bit as you bring your right foot back. So you can stay up high if you want. In fact, we can do that today. So it's kind of like we're taking a warrior one. Or a lunge rather. We're taking a lunge. So I'm a little bit closer to my chair to make this easier for all of you. So in this pose, what I want you to do is just be in this lunge, rise up your heart center, draw your shoulders down your back, pull your belly button in, and maybe move your hips a little bit towards the chair to open up that right hip. Inhale. Exhale, draw the shoulders down. Inhale, exhale. Take your left foot back to join your right. And go ahead and move into a downward facing dog. So in your downward dog, you're pushing your hips back in space, engaging your hamstrings while you're doing that, or rather stretching them. And you're allowing space for your heart center to open towards the floor. Hands are still on the chair. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, take your right foot forward, rise up onto the toes of your left foot. Bring your heart center up to the sky as you bring your shoulders back and down. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, bring your left foot forward to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, hinging at the hips, rising your hip bones to the sky. Lower your forehead to the chair. You can also have bent legs if you want. Inhale, rise up. And then rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan back forward. Place your hands on the chair. Forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your left foot back. In this lunge, placing your hands on the chair, lifting your heart center up as you draw your shoulders down. Exhale, take your right foot back, moving back into downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, create length by drawing your sit bones back in space. On your next inhale, take your left foot forward, rising up on the toes of your right foot. Inhale, rise your heart center up. And then exhale, bring your right foot to join your left. Rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your forehead on the chair. Rise your sits bones up to the sky. Inhale, rise up into that half fold. Drop your forehead back to the chair and you exhale and take your right foot back into that lunge. Keeping your hands on the chair. Inhale your heart center up as you draw your shoulders back and down. And then exhale, plant your right foot. Bring your left foot back to join your right as you move into downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right foot forward, rising up on your left toes. Inhale your heart center up as you draw your shoulders back and down, pulling your belly button into the spine as you rise up. And then exhale, bring your left foot to join your right. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale, lifting your sit bones in the air as you lower your forehead to the chair. Inhale, rise up. And then continue going all the way up, hands up into the air. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, placing your hands on the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead back down. Take your left foot back and go into that lunge. Drawing your shoulder blades down your back, pulling your belly button in as you lift up your heart center. And then exhale, let's move back into that downward facing dog. Oh. And then inhale, bring your left foot forward, rising up on your right toes. Inhale, draw your shoulders down as you lift your heart center up, pulling your belly button into the spine. And then exhale, bring your right foot forward, rise up on the inhale into the flat back, lower into your Uttanasana by putting your forehead on the chair. And then inhale, rise up and continue all the way to the top. And then exhale, hands to heart center. I always like to do these in cycles of 3, so we're going to do a third one. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Placing your hands on the chair. Lifting up your sit bones as you place your forehead on the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead down. Then bring your right foot back in space into that lunge. Inhale, draw your heart center up as you draw your shoulders down, pulling your belly button into the spine. And then place your hands on the chair, move back into that downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right foot forward, lifting up on your left foot, hands still on the chair, lifting your heart center up as you bring your shoulders down. One more inhale. And then exhale, place your hands on the chair. Bring your left foot in to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, lifting your sits bones up as you bring your forehead to the chair. Inhale into that flat spine. And then continue lifting all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the chair. Lifting your sit bones high in the air. Placing your forehead down. Exhale into a flat spine, half lift. Exhale down. And then take your left foot back. Keeping your hands on the chair. Go ahead and rise up your heart center. Draw your belly button in. Bring your shoulders down your back. And then exhale. Go ahead and move back into downward facing dog. Stretching your dog, pushing all the way back. And then inhale, bring your left foot forward, rising up on your right toe. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale, bring your right foot to join your left. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale, down, lifting your sit bones in the air, forehead on the chair. Inhale, rise up and continue the rise all the way to the top. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So take a moment to think on how that feels since you've been doing those poses. And I think that what we're going to do today is we're going to continue this theme of poses using the chair but standing at the same time. Okay, so we're going to go into a series of warrior poses. You can use your chair for support. And today we are going to include warrior 3 because those are all poses that stimulate the solar plexus chakra. And remembering this mudra is about stimulating this chakra, stimulating our digestion, and seeking balance in our lives. So go ahead and face your chair. Okay, so inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands to the chair. Take your right foot, let's get a little closer to the chair. Take your right foot back as we head into warrior 1. So to go into warrior 1, both of your sets of toes on each foot are facing the front of the chair. Your right toes are facing front. However, they are at an angle to allow space for this hip to open up. Some people will turn their foot parallel to the mat. I cannot get my hips to go facing forward when I do that. So I turn both of my sets of toes forward, and then I check, where are my hips in relation to things in front of me? So you want both of your hip points to be facing in the same direction and facing forward. So go ahead, keep your hands on the chair, stretching out your back leg, basically. Draw your belly button in as you bring your shoulders back and down and lift up your heart center. Or you can draw your belly button a little bit more, tuck your tailbone and straighten out your back. Yogi's choice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then one more inhale. And then exhale. Let's turn our right foot parallel to the back of the mat behind us. Go ahead and maybe widen your length between your feet if you need to. Line up your left heel with your right and take your right hand out to the side while you're still hanging on to your left. Lift up out of the hips, drawing the belly button up underneath the ribs and allowing your tailbone to drop. And then take your right knee, trail it back towards your back pinky toe, moving the bones of your leg back inside the hip socket and engaging these muscles on the outside of the hip. And this is a strong pose. It stimulates this chakra. It helps open up the hips at the same time. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten out your left leg. And we're going to set up for triangle pose. So go ahead and we're going to use the chair as an anchor, but you can move down if you want to. So you can keep your hand up high and go into your triangle this way. That's one option that you have. Or you can place your hand on the low part of the chair, on the seated part, and you can go like that. I have a rung on the bottom of my chair. I can even go there for that. So it is up to you what your preference is. I'm going to choose the seat of the chair though, since that's universally available. And so we're standing up here with our legs in triangle. Place our hands either on top of the chair or below, and then move into that triangle. When you're in that triangle, draw your right shoulder back in space, pressing your body against the imaginary wall behind you, and then continue to rotate your thigh upward, rotating the bones of your thigh so that your kneecap is facing the ceiling. And just breathe with ease in this pose. One more inhale. Exhale, rise up. Place your right hand on the front of the chair, and we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So go ahead and turn your right foot more forward. Draw your left hip back as you bring your right hip forward, and then go ahead into a twist to your left. Continue to draw your hips to the right. This is actually quite a working pose. One more inhale, and then exhale. Go ahead and rise up, facing the chair. Bend your left leg, bring your right foot forward. That was a revolved triangle pose that we just did. Okay, go ahead, inhale your heart up to the ceiling. And then on your exhale, go ahead and take your left foot back in space as we set up for warrior one. Once again, your toes are all facing forward. Your right leg is bent as your left leg remains straight and strong behind you. Draw your left hip forward as you bring your right hip back to square them off, and make sure that your hip points are facing forward. Okay? And then go ahead and rise up in that, drawing your belly button into the spine, lifting up your heart center. Breathe with ease in this pose. One more inhale. And then exhale, let's open this up to warrior two. So I widened my stance a little bit to make it work for me. You choose the level that works for you. But right leg is bent deeply, drawing my right knee back towards my pinky toes. Lifting up my heart center, drawing my belly button in and up. And then that allows the space for you to bend even more deeply if you want to. One more inhale. Now on your exhale, straighten out your right leg. Inhale. And then on your exhale, you're either going to, as we go into triangle, you're either going to place your hand on the seat below or just leave it up top. The choice is yours. But once you arrive at triangle, go ahead. I'm trying to decide my best hand position around these handrails. Okay, go ahead and rotate the bones of your right thigh inside the hip socket so that your kneecap is facing the ceiling. And then focus on drawing your left shoulder back, pressing your body against that imaginary wall behind you. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and place your hand on the chair. Turn your left foot slightly forward. And then we're going to go into a revolved triangle. So I'm going to keep my hands on the bottom again. Well, it's hard for me to find a position for my hand. And I'm just drawing my right hip back as I bring my left hip forward, turning to the right, my right shoulder, drawing back, my right hand towards the ceiling. One more inhale, and then exhale, go ahead and place your right hand on the chair, left hand on top. Bend your right leg and bring your left foot up to join your right. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale, let's move it back into downward facing dog. Just walk backwards and stretch out your body. Enjoying this wonderful stretch in downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up, walk to the chair, and then let's use the chair to do pigeon pose. So pigeon pose is wonderful for opening up the hips. It's wonderful for stretching these lateral muscles across the lower hips and back, outward, away from the spine, so creating space. They also stimulate this area. So we're going to start off, maybe 2 feet from your chair. Inhale your hands up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the chair. Then take your right foot. Initially, just place it on the chair. So let's just get used to that feeling of the foot on the chair. Okay. And then go ahead and walk your foot to the left, towards your left hand, and allow it to lay on the chair. So you might need to do some adjusting to allow for that. And you can have your foot as parallel as you need to have it, your chin rather, or you may bend it as deeply as you need to. You can even choose to have your leg just bent underneath your thigh, but that's kind of difficult on a chair. So just continue to work your left foot back a little bit to increase the stretch of that left hip. And then go ahead and rise your heart center up. Draw your belly button into the spine. And if you want, you can keep on working your left foot back as you rise up your heart center and draw your shoulders down. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, let's move our right foot back into that downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. And then take our left foot up to the chair. So you might need to walk in to make that possible, and you can always walk it back. So first, just get used to your foot being on the chair, and then walk your foot to the right and lay down your shin, or lay down the outside of your leg. It's a little bit challenging on this chair. These are like on a desk or a table, actually. And then go ahead and work your right foot back as far as you want to go, so that you can increase that stretch on your left hip. And then go ahead and rise up, draw the shoulders down as you lift up your heart center. Strengthening that leg behind you. One more inhale. And then exhale, place your left hand or both your hands on the chair and bring your left foot back and move back into that downward facing dog. Stretch it all the way back, stretching out your hamstrings, allowing your heart center to draw towards the floor, opening up your shoulders. Go ahead and move up towards the chair. Let's go ahead and take our seat in our chair again. We are nearing the end of our routine, believe it or not. We've already been at this for 40 minutes, 35 or 40. Okay, so sitting back, let's go ahead and give those hips one more opportunity to open up. So go ahead and sit forward on your chair. Take your right foot and cross it over your left knee. And just initially, just sit here and enjoy having your left knee just kind of hovering out in space, just gently encouraging this hip to open. You can place your right hand underneath your right knee if you need to. Draw your toes back towards your knee if you feel any tension, or even if you don't, to protect that knee. So flexing your foot and drawing your toes backwards. Sit up nice and tall. And when we sit up nice and tall, it allows space. When we allow space, the hips begin to open on their own. Inhale, rise your heart center up. And then exhale, let's start to move our heart center forward. A lot of times when I do this seated pigeon, that's what we're doing today, I find that I have poor mobility of this hip and it doesn't want to open up. But I think today, because we did some hip openers while we were standing, it really helped. So in each yoga routine, you may notice that I start off with breathing, we go into a period of movement and building heat, and then we go into a period of movement while we're bringing the heart rate down and cooling off. That's kind of a metaphor also for this mudra that encourages balancing of our energies. We can't always be up, we can't always be down. There are 3 dosha types, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. I don't have much Vata in me at all, but I'm a Kapha Pitta, or Pitta Kapha really. I'm mostly Pitta with some Kapha. And Pittas really like things to be like high energy, a lot of strength involved, poses that warm us up. And I need to balance it out with the ones that cool me down. So it's important for me to take slow, gentle poses in addition to the strong ones. And you'll notice that I shake it up in our routines intentionally because we have to listen to the body. We have to know what we need in the moment. We've gotten a nice stretch on the right side, so go ahead and rise up. Let's switch sides. Place our right foot down, take our left foot and cross it over our right ankle. Again, you can support your left knee if you want. Draw your foot back. I'm looking out the window at my Halloween tree in the yard. Draw the toes of your left foot back, flexing your foot. Sit up nice and tall. And then you can begin to draw your heart center forward. So as you leave today from this morning routine, I hope you go into your week thinking, how can I further balance my energies, balance my output, and balance what I take in, balance what I give, balance what I receive? How can I continue to do that in ways that honor me, the individual, and honor everybody around me in the world that I'm in? So this is the challenge many of us face. And it is what creates tension in society when we cannot find that balance. It creates tension at certain stages of life when we're dedicating a lot of our energies towards the care of others, towards starting a career. And then you arrive, as you go through the decades of life, you start to find a way to achieve that balance. And sometimes it's just the limited to life. The kids grow up and they move away. They get more on autopilot. They spend more time doing things for themselves on their own. And so you as a parent, you don't have to do it all anymore. It's also important to know, ask for help. You can't do it all. No one person can do it all, so it's okay to ask for help. Go ahead and rise up. Inhale up. And then exhale, place your foot down. That's a wonderful way for us to end our asanas today. I think we'll do one last twist, and then we will wrap up our asanas for the day. So take your right foot, cross it over your left foot. Place your left elbow on the outside of your right knee and sit up nice and tall. And then reaching for the back of your chair, start to twist to your right. Twist as far as you feel good twisting. Wringing out your internal organs, stimulating your digestion, stimulating your kidneys. You may discover after you do yoga that oftentimes you need to go to the restroom. That's normal because you're stimulating it all. With all this deep breathing, you are reducing inflammation, but you are also stimulating all of your organs. You're bringing fresh, rich, oxygenated blood to all of your organs and tissues. One more inhale, and then exhale, and then by going into these twisting poses, you're then stimulating them further, encouraging them to really work. Place your right foot down, take your left leg and cross it over your right, take your right elbow and kind of place it on the outside of your right leg. Reach back and grab for your chair. Sit up nice and tall as you engage your twist to the left. Wring out your stress. One more inhale. And then exhale, let's turn to the center. And let's move back into our chair. So since we're talking about the solar plexus and we're talking about balance, let's talk about it in context with our season. What I want you to do first is sit up in your chair and sit back and relax against your chair. We're taking like the chair version of Savasana. Your sit bones are in firm contact with the chair. All of the length of your back is in contact with your chair. If you prefer to get out of your chair and lay on the floor and allow your legs to rest on top of the chair, that's a wonderful pose. Very, very satisfying and restorative. You can choose that as well. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to go ahead and sit up. So go ahead and begin to relax all the parts of your body, scanning from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes. Connect with your breath and begin to use your breath to bring your energy down, to restore your heart rate and your breathing to what they were before we started this practice. Draw your energy towards your solar plexus. Draw your attention there. And let's talk about the sun cycle of fall. You may be noticing right now that it's getting darker later until the time change. And that now it is getting lighter or darker earlier. So the sun is rising at around 7 a.m. right now, slightly before. And it's setting by about 6:30. So our days are definitely getting shorter. And then I want you to think about what the sunlight feels like right now. Although our days are warm, the sun has changed its position in the sky. And it is sitting a little lower. So the sunlight that touches us is a bit less intense. You may notice when you're out that it leads to longer shadows. When I think about fall, I do think about those longer shadows. Think about the shadows that all things create, your body form, trees, buildings, creating those longer shadows. So although it's warm right now in Southern California, We are reminded by the way the light touches the earth that we are no longer in summer. You may be starting to notice your garden at home that you planted in the spring for summer growth is starting to wind down and give out its last harvest. You may notice that the animals in nature are acting a little different, getting ready for the winter. And so too are we. At the beginning of the new school year, I saw so many parents just immediately become stressed at all that they had to balance. Homeschooling kids this year, maintaining employment, trying to meet the obligations of your job, trying to make time for family time. There aren't any easy answers, but I invite you to be kind to yourself. And when you need to take a break from everything in life, you take a break. Take a mental wellness day, have a Netflix and chill day, take a nice long walk, reach out to a friend, reach out to somebody that you know you can talk to. Make some of your favorite foods. Whatever it is you need to do to bring yourself back into balance, to regenerate yourself, to regain your vitality. Okay, wherever you may have drifted off to, please rejoin us in the present moment. Go ahead and integrate some gentle movement. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe sit up nice and tall. Arch your back and draw your shoulders back. Maybe do a little mini cat and draw the back of your spine to the back of the chair as you curl your shoulders forward. Rise up. And then inhale your hands overhead. Exhale them down. Inhale them up. Exhale them down. And then inhale them one more time. Exhale, hands to Anahata, the heart center. Bow your head. The mudra that we practiced this morning, the Madhyama mudra, reminds us that we are seeking to balance our energies, to balance what we give, what we receive, to balance what we put out and what we take in, and to live with vitality. May this be the mudra that you can think on this week. Practice it several times a day, bringing balance to your life. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. The light in me joins the light in you. Namaste. and thank you for coming.